Now we have Philip Jones with NDOT.
Yep, I'll start off with where you left off. Thank you for the partnership. We're going to continue to work closely with NES and their partners, getting the vegetation. We've got a lot of plans in place for first thing in the morning. As of right now, we have about 650 calls out for trees in the roadway that we're monitoring outside of what NES has. So we'll be working closely on those through the night and through the day tomorrow. What we done on the front end of this, really, we had a good handle on the primary routes. They were in good shape. As of about 2 hours ago, as the temperatures dropped, we started getting some freezing issues. So we've now pulled our resources back to our primaries. We're getting a glaze, and it's a little more treacherous than what we had earlier, just because you can't see it. It looks like the road may be clear, but it'll be a solid sheet of ice. So as temperatures drop tonight, we want to be very careful if you have to be out on the roadway, because you won't see exactly how slick those roads are. But we will be out, and we'll continue to treat those through the night and work through the night to get what trees we can up. Please be very careful if you see hanging trees and limbs through the night. As we get some of these winds through and as temperatures drop, we will have some tree limbs that will drop. I've been out today myself multiple times and had to avoid trees falling on our vehicles. So we want to be very careful of that.
Great. Well, thank you, Philip. And the most important message I want people to hear tonight is that this group of leaders all represent entities where people are working 24/7 to keep Nashvillians safe and get the city restored to full operational capacity. So know that you've got great teams of hardworking crews of all kinds, first responders, crews responding to roadway conditions, crews responding to electric conditions, working around the clock for you. Grateful for our dedicated Metro employees, all of our first responders, all of these crews out there in the bitter cold, ensuring critical infrastructure remains operational, serving our most valuable community members, and staffing medical facilities across the city. So my words to all of them, thank you. If you are having an emergency, call 911. Please be patient for everything that is happening right now. 911 is also having very high call volume. And then for all of this, request your patience as all of these people are working to get services restored. If you need a warming center, our fire stations and police community stations are open and available. And you just heard about the additional locations at the fairgrounds, Madison Community Center, Southeast Community Center, and Nashville Fire Training Academy. If you're able to check on a neighbor safely, especially if they're older or living with a disability and ideally within walking distance, please do so. If there is one thing I know about Nashvillians, it is that we always take good care of one another in an emergency, and I know this one is no different. Above all, though, please prioritize your safety and the safety of your household. We have a long way to go before this is over. The weather is going to continue to worsen over the next 24 hours, and most of all, we want people to be safe. With that, we will take questions. Again, as noted earlier, if you are on this call as a member of the media, please put your questions in the chat, and we will try to take those in the order that we get them after remarks. Thank you. Joseph, we'll hand back to you.
First question is from Nate Rao, from Mayor O'Connell at NES. This seems like an unprecedented level of power outages. Can you provide historical context for this event? Has the department ever seen so many outages?
I'll turn it over to NES, but Nate, I will say, having grown up in Nashville, I can't remember an ice event of this magnitude in terms of impact, or even tornado or windstorm events of this impact. We've seen up over 100,000 outages a few times, but it'd go back to the mid-90s. Brent, you may have more context.
Yeah, the El Derecho a few years ago in May was a roughly 200,000 customer outage. We hit 230,000 today. So this is significant. In 1994 on record, we had an ice storm that was significant. The numbers weren't this high. Population was different as well, but this was another one in people's memory in 1994, an ice storm. So this will be one that is significant.
And I think that should not be lost on anybody right now, that this is an extraordinary winter weather event.
Next question. TVA said that they have some outages on their side. That is part of the situation in Nashville, or is Nashville not affected by TVA's outage? Or is it just NES outage and NES storage team that can fix all these things?
We did have a TVA call this afternoon, and Brent, I'll talk to you about resiliency there, but it seems like TVA is reporting they're in good shape.
Yeah, we are not impacted by any TVA outage at this time. Most of the, or all of the outages are distribution related in the Nashville area on our side.
Great. And then I know with some information also about the airport that I wanted to share with people, because that's also a key. Over at Nashville International Airport, the airport is open and working around the clock to maintain operations despite, again, all of these difficult circumstances. For them, like almost everybody here, ice remains the greatest challenge. Airport is continuing to de-ice, salt and clear runways. As always, the safety of their employees and those traveling remains their top priority. Airlines have taken precautionary measures to prioritize safety, managing flight schedules. Cancellations and delays are occurring there as well. So passengers are strongly encouraged to check status of flights with respective airlines before traveling to BNA. For the latest travel tips and updates, flynashville.com/winter. Joseph, back to questions.
Director Swan, can you provide any more detail on the nature of the calls OEM has received? For example, cold control, feed-on, fire, exposure, etc.
Yes, well, basically, it's just been a collage of all those that you see. With most of the calls that we've had were tree downs or power lines that there wasn't sure if they were hot or not. We advise everybody if they see a power line that they suspect to be a power line, that just to stay indoors. We've sending our crews out. We're using different, not just all of our heavy equipment, but sometimes we use our squad trucks to go out and respond. So we're seeing everything from our medical calls to trees down to assisting individuals that stuck. Our OEM teams have been doing that. So it's been very challenging. Again, we're holding several hundred calls, but again, we're trying to ask for everybody's patience, and we're doing everything we can do to make a response as expedient as possible.
Next question. Could we get some clarification again on which warming centers are open overnight and which have sleeping accommodation? A general look at what supplies will be available at those.
Yes. So as stated, and I want to thank Chief Drake again, him and I getting together to try to open up these precincts and the fire stations. You're welcome to be there. We just don't have the accommodations as far as, sleeping accommodations, but we'll make arrangements. We'll do whatever we can do at those stations. But as far as the fairgrounds would probably be the first location that you can go, because we got cots set up and we got Red Cross members there. We'll have the ability to feed. We're also working on all of the community centers, the one at Southeast and the Madison. Those will be more of the places that you can go and have accommodations to spend the night. Also, we have the Buena Vista Training Center where we'll make accommodations there. The difficult thing is at this point, we don't know exactly what to expect. So as the number or as the situation occur, we will make adjustments to it. We just want people to be able to get out of the code and get to a safe environment, and we will make adjustments.
And then just following up, it was central and east precincts that are not MMPD warming locations. And then for all of this information and more, we are trying to keep things up to date on nashville.gov. Joseph and the NFD OEM teams are keeping releases coming to media, and we are making sure that information is up. Every page on nashville.gov is going to have the latest for conditions and operational response.
And if I can add to that, if you're at a warming station and you feel you're going to have to stay overnight, then we'll try to transition you to the fairgrounds or somewhere where you can have a meal, you can have a place to sleep. But we're not going to put anyone out, but we want to make sure that if you need accommodations overnight, we will help you.
Excellent point. We'll make those adjustments.
Marcelli, thankful for crews that are out working 24/7. For families that have been without power, realistically, how long should they be prepared to be without power?
Turn that to Brent.
Yep. So this will be a significant event. We are still making assessments. It's a bit early for us to make a determination of just how many days, but this will be multiple day event. As we get assessments in, we are committed to getting information out as quickly as we can to let people know, but this will be prolonged And these regular communications will be the important part for us to get that information out.
And Araceli, this is a, kind of a combined effect event. One of the things that has been so important today with the NDOT crews is they are supporting the availability of NES line crews and first responders to get to incidents like crashes or people in crisis. And I can share from personal experience dating back to the March 2020 tornado. We at our house wound up losing power for 5 days, but appreciated the way that NES and other partners were keeping us up to date with progress toward restoration. And we knew we wound up on a circuit that was just tougher to repair, but got lots of good information about the equipment involved and the response effort. So NES, I know under Brent's leadership, has really improved their communication and response. And so please do stay tuned. It is going to be, though, a circuit by circuit and neighborhood by neighborhood basis, because as Brent shared earlier, this is not concentrated in one part of the city. The entirety of Nashville and Davidson County really woke up to just a full glazing of ice.
Is there a general timeline when the majority of outages are expected to be restored? Are you expecting for the number of outages to climb again?
Yeah, so customers definitely expect to get good information, which is what the mayor and I both talked about, is we want to get that information out. We're working hard to get good information. We're early in the event to be providing real details on when we're going to get through the bulk of these outages. Tonight, we do suspect this cold weather and there will be some winds that will increase the risk of power outages. So as much as that is frustrating for everybody, our crews are going to continue to work to make progress. Try to hold the line through this evening's event in the next couple of days. As soon as we get information about restoration times and when that would be, we will begin communicating that out.
And Director Chief Swan, do you mind giving a little bit of follow-up information about what we know about the forecast for the next 24 hours?
Yeah, well, basically at this point in time, we know that the temperatures are going to drop, and we're getting close to the single digit number. And that's where the fear is, as far as even with our NDOT partners, and Philip can concur this, but once that temperature drops down below that 13 degrees, it just sort of stops everything from happening. So we know the temperature is going to drop, and then we're hoping that in the coming hours that at least we can get people in place to these shelters or these warming stations, so that if they haven't had power all day, they'll be there and they're safe there. And as Chief Drake mentioned, whatever adjustments we need to make, we'll make it. But we can't make this a pretty picture. It's going to get cold. We've been warned about this throughout the week. Now reality is set in. So again, just know that temperature going to drop. We've got some stations and places for you to go. And we're making assessments tomorrow morning. It'll be a fresh new day for our NDOT partners and also for NES to go ahead and start back into repairing and clearing the roadways.
Yeah.
Last question. Realizing that restoring outages comes first, but do you have any guidance for customers who still have power but have damaged trees or landscaping near power lines that look to have the potential?
Yeah, so safety is extremely important. If there's a downline, stay 30 feet away. If there is a line and a tree tangled, do not take any effort of your own to make that safe. We will make sure we take care of that. We will be getting through with vegetation crews. More and more of those are coming in tonight to be able to hit the ground tomorrow. So please don't take any action of your own to clear up any trees. We will be doing that.
And just by way of example, again, at our own house, we had a tree fall across a sidewalk and another one that completely blocked an alley and part of a sidewalk. And so I reported both of those through Hub Nashville. They were not threatening events. Neither one of them impacted a power line. So if you've got those non-urgent scenarios like that, if you just got debris from the winter weather nearby, please do submit that to Hub Nashville. And then Patrice, might be worth talking about response and what to call and when to call.
So definitely, as the mayor has stated, the 911 system is overwhelmed or receiving a lot of calls right now. So for those calls that you can report online via Hub Nashville, report those calls via Hub. It's really important, and I reiterate, to keep the 911 lines clear for emergencies involving health-related incident, power lines, or other emergencies that require an emergency response. For non-emergency calls, dial 311 or report it online at hub.nashville.
Yeah, and I would like to add, just remember as neighbors, and the mayor spoke about it, but just helping each other out. So if you've got power and you can, again, help your neighbor out, then please, let's just reach out and do what we always do when we run into crisis mode. We all work together. We just ask everybody to be safe and take in consideration the situation that we're in. It takes all of us. All of us can play a part to make this situation as best as it can. So thank you.
And just want to emphasize Nashville.gov as an authoritative source of information for conditions and operational response. And one other reason why that resource is so important is it's easy for us to offer some multilingual availability on Nashville.gov. So all the resources we are putting up there can be translated with the built-in translation options. And we're going to continue to work on expanding language access, but continue to refer to Nashville.gov for information about our winter weather response. Thanks, everybody.